phone right here.
You can hear that. You can hear everything.
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Community Updates. I'm your host, Michelle White. We're right here on WJZZ Cool TV. And this evening we have Ms. Jewel Leonard, who is a marketing expert, who's going to be sharing with us some strategies, some practical applications that we can use to better build our business, enhance it, take it to the next level. So we thank Ms. Jewel Leonard for being our guest tonight right here on WJZZ Cool TV. And should you want to call in this evening, we'd want you to dial 313-355-6018. Again, that's 313-355-6018. If you have any questions, comments, just want to chime in, please feel free to call us at 313-355-6018. So, before we get started right here on Community Updates, we share some information with you about the communities and the communities in which we live in. So pull out your paper and your pencil. So one of the things that I've been sharing with you is about the Residential Builders Program. Now, right here in Michigan, we have one called Michigan Residential Builders Program, and it's a program, they're in particularly in urban environments, there are building, though, going on everywhere. There's building, people are building things, the development companies, land developers are building everywhere. It is no longer a situation where you can say, oh, I've got a skill in this and I used to get this contract. You've got to go out and get your license. So with the Michigan Residential Builders Program, right now they're signing up, and you can get signed up. Go get your license. 10 or 15 years ago, the price to get your licensure to work with the land developers was $275. Now it's $650. But the point is, you still need to get it. So that makes a difference between you being able to get the bids on the contracts for all the land development that's going on. So go out, check out Michigan Residential Builders classes. They will be starting up soon. And then we know that our water filtration systems are bad all over. We just had another oil spill just maybe this week. There was another oil spill. And because of the pollution and the way we pollute around our areas, we need fresher water. And Ready Fresh is a company that allows you to have fresh water right in your home. You can have can't think of the different names, spring water or alkaline water, but Ready Fresh. Give them a call at 248-798-0232. Again, that's 248-798-0232. They deliver right to your door anywhere around the world. And the system is similar to the old Apsapure systems, but it's sleeker than that. And instead of the water being on the top, it's under the bottom. It's very easy. They deliver everything right to your door, and you can have good fresh water. So call Ready Fresh at 248-798-0232. It's also time for you to register for classes. Wherever you're thinking about, I'm an educator, and so it's time to register for classes now. Classes will be ending very shortly for this semester, and they will start up again very soon. Now is registration time, and wherever you're going to college, wherever you're going to school, it's registration time now. So please be sure and go and register. Here in Michigan, if you're 60 and older, at our community colleges, the courses are free. If you're 60 and over, find out if it's that way at the state that you're in. It probably is, but go and check. Classes could be free for you if you're 60 and over. And then there are many different programs. Wayne County Community College District happens to have a Rocket to Work program, where it's a tuition-free skilled trades program teaching you civil testing and technology, construction, and CDL trucking licensing. So check that out. You can call Wayne County Community College at 313-496-2634. 313-496-2634. And but registration is starting for classes for those of you who want to take any classes. Time is now to register for your classes. So again, Miss Jewel Leonard, we thank you for coming and being our guest this evening. And I love your website and all the footage that you have on your website talking about marketing, how to better market. I'm just getting the revelation that sometimes a lot of people are posting, some people spend all day long like posting pictures of themselves, and I couldn't quite understand why are you doing that like all day long. However, I'm beginning to understand many of them have businesses, and so that's a marketing tool. And then it's also a tool of encouragement, because you still need that encouragement yourself, and I think it helps keep the self-esteem up, keep the encouragement up in whatever you're doing.
Absolutely.
Is that so?
Absolutely.
That was just something that I was thinking, but I said
Okay, good. That's a good place to start. So first of all, thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
I appreciate it. I love what you're doing with the community updates. There's so many things and so much information out there that people just have no idea about. So this is a great forum for that. Second, it's Leonard, Jewel Leonard.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
I said Leonard, didn't
you did. It's okay.
It's Leonard.
Leonard. Yes, Jewel Leonard. That's right. So thank you. No problem at all. But what I think there are a lot of entrepreneurs and small business people who they know they need to be out in social media, but they're not exactly sure what to do. And then there are a lot of different thoughts on what to do out there in social media to promote your business. One of the ways the most valuable thing that you're doing with social media, your presence there, is you're establishing that know, like, and trust that most people need to have with you before they'll do business with you. In the past, you might go to, and you still do, you might go to an event or you'll know someone, you'll have conversations with them. Social media is just that. It's social. It's an extension of what we were doing before. The challenge is that we're not sure what to do. We think we want to, we want them to get to know us, and so we do a lot of personal stuff, but we never really kind of take the hand of the person and walk them through what our business does. And so the most valuable way to use social media for your business is, yes, you want to, intermix pieces of your life in there, but most importantly, you want to educate your target audience. So, and a lot of times small business owners, they don't even understand who their target audience is, but the key for just to respond to your question is that you want to educate. So for example, for me, I'll use myself, is in marketing. The number one question that I get from a lot of small business owners, the first thing I want to know is, what is a CRM? Why do I need a CRM? What does it stand for? The second one is, do I need a website or a landing page, and what's the difference? So those are questions where, so I think you'll see if you went out to YouTube, I think there's a video on CRM versus landing page, and there's
tell us what a landing page is.
Okay, so a landing page, well, let me back up. So a lot of times, one of the things that caused me to want to start working with small businesses, and particularly in marketing, is because most people, when they start a business, they think, oh, I got to get a website. And so there are tons of people out there who will sell you a website. But the website, without some function, and I think I say, I want to help you put your website to work. Because a website in and of itself, all you're doing is you have a digital address. So before you had a brick and mortar store, you may still have a brick and mortar store, but really it's your digital address. So your digital address, it can be a website, or it can be, which is multiple pages, or it can be a landing page, which is one page. It's like a one-page website. The other difference between a landing page and a website is intention. So I highly encourage people to understand what the intention is of their website before you spend any money, because a landing page is a place where you may want to just sell a product, or you may want to educate people, or you may want to have a funnel, what we call a sales funnel, which is designed to step your prospect through getting to know you. So you'll notice maybe there's a course that you want to take. So you go on to the course, and they'll say, oh, here's this course, we're going to help you make $1 million. And they'll talk you through what their background is, and then they'll take you to another page, and they'll give you some testimonials, and then they'll take you through another page and they'll show you maybe a demo of whatever tool they're using. So they're stepping you through a sales funnel. And so we call it a funnel because we start with a lot at the top, and then we slowly move down the funnel until we have someone that's a qualified, what we call as a qualified prospect, and then you can convert them to a customer, right? So that's a lot of marketing speak, right? But the reason when we say qualified, and this is probably like further down the road of business, but what we want as business owners is we want qualified prospects. We want people whose problem that we know how to solve, that our service or product solves. We want to know how to reach them and where they go, and we want to understand their problem enough to give them a solution. So when I say qualified, that's what I mean by that. So I'm really stepping like way over here when I know what you meant to start over there.
So, but then when you have a website or a landing page, you also need to, and you correct me if I'm wrong, have to utilize AdWords. You have to develop a way to have people know how to find you on Google search.
Right, and that's a good thing that you bring up. So, a lot of business owners don't know that you get a free Google profile. Well, it's Google, they're using Maps now, but in order to, there's two things. One is Google is large search engine, and definitely people, when they're looking to purchase stuff, they go out and they Google it, right? We know that. But what you're referring to when you're talking about, well, how do people find us? Well, they find you based on the keywords that you put in. So a lot of times you'll hear this term search engine SEO, search engine optimization, right? And all that is it's anything that you do to make it easier for your information to come up when someone's searching for it, right? The way you do that is with the keywords, but it's not just the keywords that you put on your site or that you key to your website. It's also the keywords that you use within the content. So say, for example, you have a blog, right? And you have a Google page, and you want traffic, people who go out and search for, community updates. You want them, when they search for it, you want your stuff to come up. Well, in order to do that, you need to use words in there like community update, education, training. You want to make sure that in your blog content, you're actually using those words. And that way, when Google's artificial intelligence goes in and is looking to serve up that person the best response for the search, they will go through and comb through your website, and they'll see those words, and they'll lift you up higher above others that place because you have more of the same keywords that they're looking for.
So do you suggest that people start with a website, or can they blog on Instagram or Twitter and it come up as well?
Okay, so social media, there's different audiences for different platforms, right? So I'm going to back up kind of to the business 101 part, the marketing 101 part. The first thing that you need to understand is who is your customer, who is your target audience, and what problem are you going to solve for them, okay? So say, for example, if I wanted to reach out, I had a product and I wanted to say it's baby diapers, and I want to reach out to moms with small children. I probably am going to be more likely to be on Facebook, perhaps, because Facebook is more kind of like the family where people are sharing information. That's a platform where those moms may be. They might be on Instagram as well, depending on the age group. So Instagram is a little bit. There's all more mature people on Instagram as well, but Instagram traditionally caters more to a younger group. So, and it's more visual.
They say Facebook is for old people now.
Oh yeah, and my son, when he wants to learn something, he looks it up on TikTok. So again, it depends on. So for example, if you are a young person, a young business person, and you've got something new that's very visual, I would say you don't want to be on Facebook. You want to be on Instagram. If it's something where
about Reels now.
Okay, so now we're going down into the social media. Now we're going down into the social media. Okay. So this is why I try to encourage people to have a strategy. okay, with your social media.
Okay.
Because there's tons of stuff.
I need a
There's
strategy.
posts, there's reels, there's other videos. If you're on TikTok, there's TikTok, but then the corollary to Instagram, to TikTok, so Instagram is reels, and then Facebook now even has, and LinkedIn also has now kind of their short, and YouTube has shorts. So you kind of got to pick where you want to go and what is it. So once you, back to target audience, once you know who your people are, and I would encourage you to create an avatar. In other words, a name for the person. So you say, okay, my target audience is a professional. Her name is Susie. She looks like this. She has 3 kids. She works full time. Her husband works full time. They don't have a lot of time, so they do a lot of carry out dinners. Or she's looking for quick recipes or something like to that level of detail. Just really think through what is it that person. What is their life like? And then you can determine what are they more, what
So like
platform
for
are they
me,
more
for
likely?
community updates, I would want to create an avatar.
I would, because who is it that's looking at your community updates, right? So it sounds like perhaps you have maybe it's an underserved community that's looking at community updates, right? And they're looking for advancement. They want to improve their skill set so they can make more money and do more things, right? They may not be on Instagram. They may be on Facebook. You have to kind of understand what they're doing and where they spend their time, and then you can pick your platform. Because the other thing you got to think about is you have to have time to manage all the social media, right? So it's not necessarily, and you have to have a presence on social media. So whatever platform you pick, you need to really be out there every day. I mean, I'm not even out there as much as I should, but really to establish that relationship, you really need to be out there every single day. So you can't be on every platform every day. But what I do encourage you to do is to kind of pick, this is what I do. I'll do a YouTube video, for example. So if you're doing community updates, what is it that your audience is really looking for? Are they looking for education in a particular area? If they're looking for building, if they're interested in construction trades or something like that, maybe you do a 20-minute video that is on construction trades and you interview someone who is maybe a trainer who teaches the course that you're encouraging them to sign up for. And it's about maybe 15, I wouldn't go more than 20 minutes. You do this interview. You take a piece of that interview and then you make it a reel. And so you just take a small piece of it, you put it over on your Instagram reel if you really want to work like this, and then you do a quote or something that came out of that was meaningful out of that 20-minute segment that you had, and then you post that up as a post. So now you've taken So now you've taken one topic. You're being efficient with your time because I personally think you want to be on more than one platform. It's just time-wise, you just got to pick one. You can't be on everything. It runs you about $2,500 to $3,000 a month to get a social media person, and they're not even posting every day, right? And even to run ads, to get someone to do that for you. So it's it can be more economical for you to do it yourself, but then you got it's your time. You really have a business to run. You didn't go into business to do marketing. You went into business to do community updates. I'm the one who went into business for marketing, but if you have a bakery or you have, detail shop,
You need to
something
hire
like
a
that.
marketer.
Right. I mean, you don't, or you manage it. You create a marketing strategy that you can manage within the time that you have.
Okay.
So if you say to me, okay, you know what, I got one day a week, I can do a video. Then I say, okay, good. Let's do an educational video of educational content. Let's then take that 20-minute video, break it on in pieces. You can do a picture. You can snap a picture, a freeze frame from that video. You can put like a quote on it. You can post that on all of your social media. There are tools, even my platform where you can post on multiple social media platforms at one time.
So what we do, community updates, is my target audience is businesses like yourself.
Okay.
We share the information, any information, whether it be marketing or a community business, a community service.
Okay.
Or we've had authors from Texas. We've had hair owners that grow your hair that live in Alabama. and that have been guests. So it's not just local. It's we've got over 10,000 viewers from all over the country. And so it's to get the information out, and our target market has pretty much been smaller businesses that are growing. Yeah.
So you're sharing, so your goal is to
sharing information
to educate.
Yes.
So there's two sides to this, right? So you are you're solving the problem for a small business owner of being able to educate others about what they have to offer, which is marketing.
Yes.
But at the same time, you're a source for people who are looking for information to be able to go that don't know it's out there to come. So you've kind of got two avatars, I would say. Because the avatar of the person who is looking for the information is different. They may have different platforms that they like to use. You may be better even, we talk about social media all the time now because it's the new thing, but social media doesn't replace any of the other older mechanisms we have for marketing, like flyers or events or different things. Or I saw someone who was paying $750 for you to put a wrapper on your car. So none of the other marketing tools went away. Social media is something different, right? So for your audience, it might be something different. It might be a big community event where you have all the businesses come in and actually face-to-face talk to the people about what they're doing. You may get way more engagement in that way than if you do something online, or you do an online event versus a paid ad, and then you can generate organic traffic, which is traffic you don't pay for, versus doing Google ads, which you do have to pay for, and get the same result and begin building that relationship. And then you have something like you build that community. So you've got a community, you've got 10,000 people, put them together into a group so that they can get to know each other, and then people begin to help each other. Or even if you were to do something on YouTube, right, as your platform, you can monetize in many different ways on YouTube. So,
okay, listeners, you need to call in at 313-355-6018. Miss Jewel is giving us a wealth of information that will help your business, and you can give her a call. Tell us how our viewers and callers can hear you, get in touch with you.
Yes.
Give us your website page and your phone number.
Yes, so you can call me at 248-988-9099. You can go to my website at getcrystallizedagency.com. Either of those will connect you with me, and I'm happy to help. I'm actually in the process of putting together a product just for small businesses, because one of the things that I see as well is there's so many products out there. So you start with your business, you're not sure, you need to contact your customers, so you might know about a CRM. Okay, got that. But then you want to send them the email. Oh, there's an app for that called Aweber. Oh, but then you want to send it on multiple platforms. Oh, there's HubSpot. There's so many tools, but nothing really takes you all the way.
To if you're starting out, well, you mentioned a few.
I'm biased. I'm biased because I have my own platform now altogether. But I think you start free, right? So when I started, Google has a very good suite of products. So one of the things I noticed with business owners is you want to jump into marketing, but you don't have the back office systems that you need to handle all the leads that you could get if you got them. In other words, a lead, your relationship with your lead begins when they become a customer. That's when you're building the relationship with them. That's when they're understanding how you deliver your product or service. That's when you're really priming them to be referral sources for you. So you can get them in the door with a bunch of marketing, but if you get them in the door and then you're not delivering, you're not communicating with them, you're not following up, you're not doing any of that, then you're losing, because it's more valuable to you to have a lead that is a referral from someone else. That is the most, the best referral, the best business.
So word of mouth is still your best form of advertising.
Because that is so immediately when you have someone a word of mouth referral, you automatically go past that whole like, know, and trust process, because you have someone else who this third person knows, likes, and trusts referring you So you jump over all the people who don't know, who don't know them, because you've got this person who recommends them. So that's always, word of mouth is always best. That's what I want, all these other things we do, the social media, the website, all that stuff.
Word of mouth is still the best.
It's always going to be the best. It's always going to be the best.
So do you recommend, you said Google, utilize the Google Suite.
Right. So the first thing I recommend for a business, and this is what I always want them to do, and I use it to deliver to them as well, is because depending on what level you are in your business, you want to have a professional presence. You want, when you're competing against other businesses that maybe do the same thing you do, you want to be able to hold up yourself. So the one thing I like to see them do is get your own domain name. Get your web address. If you're Suzy Q, get SuzyQ.com. If you're whatever your business is, get your domain. Because
I've heard people say though that there's some tricks with that too, that you can get cheated on.
What do you mean?
I forget. They like, if you don't do it right, somebody can come and steal it or something. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, so yes, it is possible that there are a couple things people do. They can lock your domain. But that's why I always recommend you get privacy. If you get a domain and you can't afford to get the privacy assist, then just don't get one.
Okay.
Because it is possible for people to take your domain. Another thing people do is you have to renew it for year over year. You might forget that you need to renew your domain, and you can lose it, right? But in terms of presence, if I'm competing for two different people and I'm going to SuzyQ@gmail.com, or I'm going to SuzyQ.com, then I feel like SuzyQ.com is more professional because they've taken the additional time to register their domain and present themselves as a business, along with other people. So I think depending on what it is, I think a lot of people know that most people start and they start out with Gmail, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when you're ready to really kind of take your business to the next level, you got to think, for example, if you're a minority and you're going to get for minority contracts and different things like that, you want to present yourself in a professional way, and it's not hard like it used to be. It's not difficult to get a domain, and in fact, you can get a Google Workspace account that gives you your email, your documents, your YouTube, everything, and you can even get email with your domain as part of that package. So now it's not like it used to be you had it, and okay, I'm not going to slam GoDaddy, but
I remember GoDaddy.
Oh my God! You don't have to buy those extra packages that they add in. If it's Wix or GoDaddy or those, you don't have to buy those.
Okay.
You can get a Google Workspace for $6 a month, and you can have an email that is your professional email address with your domain, so that you can do business professionally, and you don't have to do all that. The other thing is, once you get in with them, you're kind of stuck. So I think it's important to present yourself as professionally as you're able to. Not that you can't, but if you have the capability, you should get it. The other thing is, if you feel like your name is really hot, like if you really like it, then you need to lock it down, even if you don't do anything with it. Because once your domain is taken, it's taken. And it's very difficult to get a domain name, even if the person who owns it is not doing anything with it. The actual process to go through and get that domain for yourself can be very expensive. So before I changed my name was Crystal Cotton. CrystalCotton.com is like $15,000, $20,000 now. It was like $3,000 10 years ago. So I wish I thought that was a lot then. So if you think that it's a domain, I do it all the time. I have so many domains, it's not even funny. Because as soon as I come up with an idea, I go get the domain. It's like the first thing I do. So even if you don't use it, I would get it. Even if you just get it for a year. There's some that I got for a year, and I was like, I don't need to use it anymore.
Okay.
But if you don't have it, then you won't have it.
So you recommend that people, if they're just starting out, when people are listening that are at different levels. So for those that are just starting out, you would recommend they utilize Google Suite, and definitely lock in their domain name, and even if they have some future business ideas, lock those in as well. And they can do that for free utilizing the Google Suite, or just search on how to get your domain name.
Well, your domain name is always going to cost you something. Depending on how popular it is, you can get a domain name. Some of them will be $3, some of them may be $10, some of them may be more than that. So it
Is there a
varies.
particular company? you recommend?
Actually, I use Cloudflare, and I also have seen Names Cheap. I used to, most of my initial ones, I use HostGator. And they have different hosting packages where you can just have all of them. I've heard very good things about Bluehost as well. And so you want to make sure that you're going somewhere where you're going to have flexibility. The reason I kind of left the company that I was working with before is that a lot of times when these companies have the packages where you can set up your website and things like that, they'll have installers, or they'll have other software in there that kind of locks you into that platform. So if there's certain things that you want to do, you won't be able to do them because
You're locked into their
Exactly.
platform.
So I've left.
So none of
companies
these
because
are
that.
those that will lock you in?
Okay, so let me back up. Understanding we're in multiple audiences, it depends on where you're at.
Okay.
Okay? So if you're a brand new person starting a business and you're not technical at all, I wouldn't even worry about it. I would just get a simple, if you just insist on having a digital presence. Actually, I wouldn't even say that. I would say if you haven't
I
identified
think everybody
what you
has to
want-
have a digital
You
presence.
do, but
today,
it's
right?
better to not have one than to have one that you haven't thought out.
Okay.
And to me, it's the time and the effort and the resources that it takes to set up your website to do it the right way. I mean, there's companies out there that'll do it. I saw $150. They'll set up a website, right? But what are you using it for?
I know companies or people that will create a website for you, but
Yeah.
don't teach you how to draw people to the website. So you've spent money on nothing.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So it's better to, work with somebody, come up with your strategy on what you're going to do, understand what you're doing with the website, and then you can create a website that is going to meet the need of what you have. So for example, you need to have some type of hook when someone comes to your website. Usually it's a pop-up, something that you can give away for your business. So sometimes it can be top 10 ways to do a YouTube video or something like that, where when people come to your website, it's interesting, it's specific to the problem that you solve or the problem that your target audience might want to solve, right? And so they go,
Something
oh
you get
yeah,
for free.
because what do you think, Michelle, is the most valuable asset that a business owner has from a marketing perspective?
What? The item they gave away for free?
Nope.
What?
Your email list.
Oh,
Everything you do.
they buy email lists.
But
People sell email lists.
a purchase email list is not necessarily an email list of people who are qualified customers. The people that sign up for your free giveaway, the people that come to your event and drop their card in your fishbowl, if people are still doing that. That is a person that you have met, you've connected with them, and now when you reach out to them in email, they're more likely to purchase from you, right? So everything that we do is designed, it should be, to get your email list, to build your email list.
Do you utilize MailChimp?
I have my own platform, so I do
Okay,
not.
you don't. I'm just learning MailChimp.
Yeah, MailChimp is good when you're just starting out, and if that's all you're doing is mail. But that's why I encourage people to do a strategy, because your strategy may or may not involve that. And then what are you going to do with the people?
I love your website, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So what are you going to do with the people? That's the thing. It's like the reason the website is not working is because when it was designed, you really weren't thinking, what am I going to do with this website? What is the journey for the lead? Because you have to think, you're not just building a website. You don't want it to be a digital flyer, but you need to think through, where's my customer going to go? Where's this lead coming from? Oh, someone's going to do a Google search. They're going to come to my website. Oh, they're going to look at my website and they're going to think, oh, that's nice. I'll come back later and check it out. And then you don't know they came. You don't know what they were looking for when they came. And then
So when you start a business, it's really important to become a visionary. If you weren't already, you need to start becoming a visionary and thinking down the road. I like how you said it. What is the journey for the lead?
Right. What do you, because you have a product. I think every business owner, you think, oh my gosh, I can do this. I can help so many people. This is going to be great. Like nobody goes into business and like, oh, I don't know if I can do it or not, right? You're excited because you know that there's a problem you can solve. More than likely, you've solved it for yourself, and so you think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? But you have to understand, for those people, how are you going to deliver it to people? How are you going to connect with the people? Initially, it's easy, right? It's your family, it's your friends, it's your neighbors, it's your coworkers, and they go, oh, that's great. But even them, even if they love what you do, if they don't know how to refer people to you, then what good is it, right? You want to be efficient with your time so that you're not having to go back, circle back to get referrals. So when somebody says to me, oh, well, okay, I can use MailChimp and I can send out a newsletter. Okay, so how you going to get the people that are reading the newsletter to take an action?
So now a lot of times when you go to different websites, and again, those of you who are listening, we want you to call in at 313-355-6018 right here on WJZZ Cool TV, and this is Community Updates. So we thank you for tuning in. Feel free to type some things in the YouTube chat, whatever social media platform that you are watching us as we live stream. Type in your comments, call in, and let us know your thoughts, or if you would like some further information. But one of the things I was going to say is that a lot of times when you go to a website now, just about any website, they'll have a mailbox that comes up that'll either ask you some questions, or they want you, before they will even let you look at their product, they want your email address.
I hate those. I don't never fill them out.
I hate those.
I never fill them out.
I have a certain email that I use for those.
I never fill them out. But that's the importance of providing value. So if you have you heard the term Web 3.0 and all, right? So what's happening with Web 3.0 is before.
What is that though? I don't know.
Well, it's like a term for the evolution of the internet, right? So 2.0 is kind of like where we were, where the companies, the big companies, are the ones who have access to the people, right? They have the commercials, they have the ads, they have the dollars to spend on Google and all that. What's happening with 3.0 is that you'll see the influencers. The power base of the internet is shifting from the big companies to individuals and influencers and people. And so as that happens, if you have a niche that you're powerful in and you're strong in and you're helping your customers and your clients with, you need to establish your presence. And when you do that, you are going to be the source where the big companies are going to be coming to reach those people. So with 3.0, you want to be focused on what is it, the value that you're delivering. Give value to people and become an expert in that space. So if I'm a marketing expert, I want to be out on social media, and I want to be sharing content and education about marketing. I want to share my platform on YouTube so people can find. So when they're looking to buy something, with a small business owner looking to enhance their marketing, or they want to scale, they want to grow, I want them to go, oh, Jewel and I, right, I just watched a video with her. I think I'm gonna go there. I just did this myself. There's a certain YouTube group that I follow, Think Media. I love them. They really helped me out in terms of equipment I needed to buy. And guess what? When they sent me an email about some YouTube creator course they were doing, I signed up and registered for the webinar. I listened to the webinar, and then I was like, oh, this is really good. I need this. That's what you're trying to create as a business owner when you're out on social media. You want to establish yourself as an expert in that area. And a lot of small business owners, they don't want to do that. They don't want to be out on social media. They don't want to do videos. And that's
I think it's so much. Social media and computer technology and social media is moving like this, that you can just be learning MailChimp, and we're already light years past that. So and it can be overwhelming. It's overwhelming because you don't have a strategy, though, right? Because what a strategy does is it's like MailChimp is a tool that allows you to send email to people, right? But your strategy that says, okay, I have a person, they're going to come to my website, I'm going to offer them something of value here, and then after they sign up for that, I'm going to
I'm going to strategically send them an email every 30 days, or I'm going to send them another newsletter every week, and then every night I'm going to do a webinar once a month, and I'm going to talk to them about some specific topic. Now you have a strategy. Whether you use MailChimp, or you use HubSpot, or you use whoever else, it's an email provider. It's not, oh, I'm going to use MailChimp. So now you're not behind. Now you're just plug and play and identifying what tool do you need to use in your strategy to get to your end result. It's
a lot of people have
overwhelming.
books too. I'm in the process of writing a book now, and sometimes people will sell their main book and have another little book that they that draws you in, that they'll give away for free.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anything you can do of value, but again, I cannot stress enough. Who is your audience that you're seeking to reach? Because it was overwhelming to me. I'm just going to tell you, it was overwhelming.
So it wasn't not just me.
No, it's anybody. It's overwhelming in general. Just the smallest thing to understand who your target audience is. It's simple, but it's not simple, because when you're looking at your target audience, you can niche it down to a very small level, and the smaller you can go, like, what's your book? Tell me what your book is about.
Well, this one particular one is called Pray the Word.
Okay, so you're going to reach out, your audiences, I'm assuming Christians, okay?
Not necessarily.
Or what? Religious people. Okay, male or female?
Both.
Male or female? Which one?
Both.
Okay, so I would say to you, the more you're able to niche that down.
Okay.
So if you say male or female, okay, both. Now you have to stop there. I got you.
Oh, okay.
But the thing to remember is, even if you niche down, you're still going to get the other people.
Gotcha.
This is what it allows you to do. Save time, money, and focus your attention.
Okay.
That's why we do it. We don't want to leave anybody out. We never want to leave anyone out. But when you're able to niche down, the lower you're able to niche down, the more focused you can be with your attention, with your marketing dollars, with everything that you do. If you're able to focus that in, now you have a laser focus. So guess what? If you say it's women, between the ages of, if you say it's women between the ages of 35 and 45, guess what? You're going to get their husband, their grandma, their great-great-grandma, their father's grandma. You're going to get all those other people, because what's she going to do?
But you need to start.
If she loves your book, she's going to say, hey, they're going to be sitting at the dinner table, and she's going to say, hey, honey, I just read this in this book, and Miss Michelle book, and wow, that was awesome. Oh, yeah, what do you say, honey? Oh, yeah, and then he's talking to his grandma. Again, word of mouth, right? But if you're out trying to reach everybody, how are you going to get to them?
Right, you need to niche
It's overwhelming. Right, it's overwhelming. You're like, oh my gosh.
That is good, everybody. She just shared some good info. All this has been good.
Thank you.
All of this has been good. I don't know, but I've taken a wealth of notes.
Thank you.
I hope that you listeners and callers are out there taking down a wealth of information that Miss Jewel Leonard has been sharing. She is a marketing expert, and you can reach her at 248-988-9099. I'll repeat that. It's area code 248-988-9099, or you can go to her website, which is getcrystallizedagency.com. Getcrystallizedagency.com. So you can get more information on how to, she's a marketing strategist. She will show you how to market your business, how to take it to the next level. At whatever stage your business is at, you are able to help your clients to take it to, her website is wonderful. And then you've got numerous YouTubes that you've done that are very helpful, and you've got them right there lined up on your front page. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. And I deliberately left. I went back and forth about whether or not I was going to leave my old videos. But I think it's important for entrepreneurs and small business owners to understand that it's a process. And where you start is not where you're going to finish. It's a constant evolution over time. And so I think a lot of times these business experts, they'll be like, oh, well, I think you need to do, here's where I was, and they'll send you a snapshot, but you don't really see the evolution. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to be transparent. This is how it was. This is transition I went through. So that people understand that it's okay okay to not be perfect.
Right.
It's important for you just to get out there and share the thing you have to share, because if you have it, it's meant to be used and developed, and you can't be shy about it. You have to go ahead and do your thing.
Yes. So what are some of the other things that we were talking about that you were going to share with tonight at some of the different marketing strategies, and you just had a wealth of information that I pulled up from your website, just different marketing strategies, how marketing is profitable. A lot of times we don't know how to monetize what we're doing.
Right.
Let's speak to that, how to monetize what we're doing.
Okay, so we're only in business for one reason, and that's to make a profit, right? I think that what we get caught up into with marketing is we think marketing is supposed to bring all the customers, and that's how we make money. But marketing really is to bring leads, but you still have to be a salesperson. We still have to have the ability to understand a problem, to present a solution, and then have an understanding of the technique to help a person get to a decision. And so I think that when I talk about, like I had a note about back office, that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying, what is the process once the lead once you get a lead, it's the process of from the lead to customer that you need to understand as a business owner. And then the process from customer to happy customer, satisfied customer, is another system. So you really need to take those pieces of time and break them out into, what's a sequence that people are going to go through. When I know that when I have a new lead come in, I need to qualify that lead. I need to understand what problem they're trying to solve. I need to know my product enough to understand which of my products are going to help them and which aren't. I need to be able to answer every question and objection that they have, and not take it personal, not have an attitude about it. It's just like, no, they're trying to come to a decision, and then once they're ready to buy, I need to make it easy for them to buy. One of the first challenges I had was like, okay, well, how do people pay me? Oh, well, there's Cash App, there's Venmo, there's PayPal, there's cash, there's check, there's how are you going to accept payment? Like simple things like that can be really frustrating for a new customer. It's enough once you may get someone all the way down the line from a lead ready to buy from you, and then they're like, oh, well, how do I pay? Do you take this? And if it's difficult for them to pay you, something else comes up and they're like, oh, well, you know what, I'm just going to wait. And then they forget about you unless you follow up with them. So these processes are the way we kind of lose money and leave money on the table. But if I understand that process, okay, I need, as an entrepreneur, I need to understand the sales process, not somebody's, canned course, but just the mindset of, okay, I need to know what this person wants. I need to solve their problem. I need to know how they're going to pay me. A lot of times, I didn't know how people were going to pay me when I first went in business. I thought, oh, they're just going to give me a check. But you have to understand, and if they're going to pay, if you're going to accept cash and Venmo, you got to set all that up. You got to make it easy for people to get it from you.
And speaking of which, if you want to support community updates, you can Cash App me at Michelle of $Michelle R. White. That's my Cash App, $Michelle R. White. If you want to do Venmo or Zelle, then you can go to my phone number. It's 248-238-4863. Again, that's 248-238-4863. I love that you said, because when we're doing a business, we do want to make it profitable, whatever that business is. And you said business owners who engage in key marketing activities have experienced a 40 to 50% increase in their new customers, and increased web traffic and increased revenue. So we want all of those. We want increased new customers, increased web traffic, and increased revenue. Because the bottom line is we're not doing things just to be busy doing.
Right. And Michelle, all of that is connected to the amount of value. Because what do we do as business owners? We exchange value for money. So the more value you provide in terms of the education that you provide, in terms of your visibility. So for example, when we talked initially, we were talking about Google for a minute. Your Google profile is a free opportunity for you to have. You can post pictures out there. You can put your website, if you have one out there, your phone number, your location. You can post articles out there. You can post other images and promote your business and keywords so that people can find you, right? So that's a way that we can be visible. So you have to be visible, and then you have to be there when people are looking for you. And then once they find you, you have to make it easy for them to see what you offer and how it is going to solve their problem. Because I think that's another little gap that's there, right? So you're a business owner. You want to do marketing. You know you need to get the word out there. And you start telling them all about what your stuff does. You don't answer any of their questions because they don't care what your thing does. They care about whether it's going to solve their problem. And they can't always make that connection between what your thing does and the problem they're trying to solve. So when you're doing a post or you're doing a video or something like that, you have to address the problem so that they can see the connection between how what you're doing can solve the problem. And then if you're able to do that, then they'll say, oh, okay, they understand my problem, number one. And then so they'll trust you, and then they'll see, then you get your referrals. There's a whole process. That's why it's not enough to say a website, because you got a website, you got the lead, we talked about the sales, we talked about the delivery, and then after you do the delivery, you got a happy customer, what is your process to get referrals? Right? We don't think about that until you're ready. You need referrals, you're like, oh, I need referrals. I say build a system to generate referrals so you don't have to.
What is a good system for back in the day you would use Excel and put things. What is a good system to keep track of your leads?
Whichever one that will work for you. So this is where we get the question with the CRM.
Okay.
Right? Customer Relationship Management is what that stands for.
Okay.
And what it is it is a way for you to have your leads in one place where you can communicate with them. So there's many different platforms that do that. They do different pieces of it. I have a platform that does everything. There are other platforms that can do pieces of it. So you mentioned Google Suite, there's an app called Streak CRM that you can get a free version. All the free versions typically have some limitations on them, but the simplest thing that you can do right out the gate for your CRM is just pick one tool, and if it's, it can be your Gmail, and use the contact function in your Gmail and actually fill out the information there. If you're just like bare bones, you don't want to spend any money on anything, then just be organized and intentional about how you use your contact list on your phone. Okay, we can be as simple as that. Then if you go to Google has Streak CRM, and what it allows you to do, it allows you to track where people are in the buying process, right? So you can put them in different categories. The reason I moved away from that was it was very manually intensive. So follow-up has never been my strong suit. So with the platform that I have now, I was looking for a way to automate it. Right? So for example, different events or something. So for example, we're having an event, and for my people that I invited, I set up everything at one time. I said, okay, hey, here's the flyer. Okay, 3 days before the event, send them a reminder. 2 days before the event, tell them how much you're looking forward to seeing them. The 3 hours before the event, tell them about parking. I set it up all at once with Crystallized System, with my system. I set it up at once, and then it goes. I had an author, I had a book launch, and what we did was we took her book and we did excerpts of her book, and we planned it 8 weeks out. And 8 weeks before the event, everybody got an email, and then they got a text that says, hey, check your email if you want to learn about what this person did in this situation. Then they got an email a few minutes later. Next week, they get another reminder. Hey, are you feeling tired? Well, why don't you check out what this person did about feeling tired? Check your email. And because I don't know if people know this, but when you send a text message, the segments, depending on what you put in there, like links, can count for more than one text message against your data, right?
What do you mean?
So, for example, if you have a text message and you have like 3 or 4 different blocks, the company, if you're doing a large enough amount of email or text, then they count a link, for example, will be considered more segments than just if you did a plain text. So usually when I set up a campaign, I'll do a text message to let them know to check their email. And then in email, you can share more information. You can do pictures, you can do links, you can do a whole bunch of other things.
A lot of people are using Messenger too to send out information.
You can use Messengers tons of ways. You have so many ways
I
to
don't
use
like
Messenger.
that because there's so much spam on Messenger, so I don't look at Messenger all the time.
Well, that's okay.
There are more people that are spamming on Messenger, I think, that are actually advertising.
Well, okay, so as a business owner you're talking, or as a recipient?
Business owners.
Okay.
I know business owners that use it, but for me, they get mixed up in the people that are spam. I might look at it, I might not. I'm looking at it. Right. I'm looking at it more because of my business now, but
that's the risk that we take, right? I mean, so the platform, and I'm not I guess it's okay for me to plug my platform, but because you can get legit. The reason why Messenger comes in handy is if you're running ads, okay, and people go to your page and they send you a message on your page, then you can interact with them back and forth. And in my tool, I have a conversations tab that takes whether they come from Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you can respond to them in one place.
So you set up your own platform? I mean, on your platform, you set up your own system and everything?
Yeah.
And so your clients can become a part of your system, or you show them how to set it up?
They can have their own. So it's do it yourself or do it for you, right?
Okay.
So there's a subscription. It's a subscription platform. And so if you're really tech savvy, then you can do it yourself. It's unlimited websites, unlimited domains. You can set up your own campaigns, surveys. It's like everything at once. Funnels.
That's why your website looks so good.
I did that myself. I did.
You did a great job.
I did several. And it's simple to do, and there's templates in there where you can set up your own. But it's not just about the website. It's about the artificial intelligence and the automation that goes along with it. That's the key that makes the value, because again, you're a business owner, you're busy, you don't have time to actually be sending emails to people. So to the extent that you can really be genuine in your emails and your text messages, because it's you saying it, it's just you set it up so that it's appropriate for the time that people are in the buying cycle, so they're not overwhelmed. You're not sending things to people that, it's out of order. I used to I'd be like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't send them this information. Like, once you define your process, then your communication can be orderly and along the sequence of where people are in the buying journey. And so you're not out of order. You're not trying to give them information that they're not ready to receive, because if they're not ready to receive information about pricing, for example, then you don't want to give them your prices. You're just answering questions. They're still trying to decide if you solve their problem or not. If you're really solving the problem that they have and they're ready to have it solved, it won't matter so much what your prices are. But if you shoot your price list there in front of them before they even know that they want what you have, now you're out of order. Right. So I like the sequential, the system approach of saying, here's the process I want people to step through. And then when they plus the benefit of that is, then now they don't feel bad they know what to expect, so they don't mind referring you.
So now, do you do workshops and things? Before we go, I want to make sure that people know how to get in touch with you.
I am doing workshops. I'm focused on building out the YouTube content right now.
Okay.
But I have done, I did a social media Saturday. I don't know if you saw that out there for a while, where it was just content and just general topics. And I will be doing workshops in the future, but now I just want to build out the content.
I think I added my name to your mail list.
Yeah, very good, very good. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you. And
so I'm excited about sharing the information. I'm excited about just doing a lot of the demos, and I'll be out there demoing the different capabilities that I have, and to help people to understand kind of what they can do. So I'm looking forward to 2023.
Oh, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me too, because you've given us a wealth of information this evening to help all of our businesses expand and grow. And whether it's a part-time business, full-time business, or something that's starting out part-time that you want to turn into a full-time monetized business, then the opportunities are there for us, but we have to know how to market it. And Ms. Jewel Lennard has brought us some of the awesome marketing strategies and given some great information this evening so that we can do just that. advance and grow our businesses and know how to do so with social media. And so we thank you for coming. I so appreciate you coming this evening and sharing all this information. I look forward to maybe having you come back again another time.
Yes, it'd be my pleasure.
Or definitely if we do a workshop or do something where we're inviting community updates, guests and previous guests and future guests, would love to have you come and talk and share what you do as one of the main speakers.
Would be my pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. And again, tune in next week to Community Updates right here on WJZZ Cool TV. You can catch us on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. And we just want you to keep tuning in. Again, if you want to support Community Updates, you can Cash App at Michelle R. White. That's MICHELLE, the letter R, WHITE, or you can send something on Venmo or Zelle at 248-238-4863. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you next week right here on Community Updates WJZZ. Have a good evening. Thank you again for being our guest.